What's your name? Again? Lynn? Lynn. All right. Do any of you go to church? Oh, why not? Huh?
I'm not really religious.
You're not really religious? Okay, good. Because we're not out here to teach religion. We're out here to teach who our people are according to the Bible. You read the Bible? You ever read the Bible? Okay. So let me ask you. When did you used to go to church? All right. When you went to church, did they ever teach you who you are in the Bible? No? So what's your nationality? What would they call you today?
My nationality?
Yes.
American? African American?
African American. All right. So according to the Bible, you would be considered a Judite from the nation of Israel. All right? And that our people have gone through curses in America. I'm going to show you out of the Bible. Get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. Because you said you're African American, right? Is your father African American? What's your mother? Okay, on what side? Your mom or your dad?
Both.
On both? Okay. So, we're going by your father first. Your father, that determines your nationality, okay? And I'm going to show you out of the Bible what happened to the Israelites. Read. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So, the book of Deuteronomy is addressed to the Israelites. It says, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, which is the Bible. All right? The Bible. Read. To observe, to do all his commandments. So we were commanded to follow all of God's laws as Israelites. Read. And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses. So the Lord said if we don't listen to God's laws, if we don't follow his commandments, curses will fall upon our people. Read. Shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So, I'm a jack your name out. I don't want to jack your name out. What's your name again? Desiree and Lynn. Lynn, I'm going to get it right. Lynn. So, us as a people, Lynn and Desiree, what conditions that you would say that we're in? Are we a cursed people or a blessed people? Both? How? How are we blessed?
We are blessed by our genetics.
By our genetics?
Ancestors live through us. Everything lives through us.
How you doing, bro? You agree with that? Would you say we're blessed by our genetics? Okay, so let's figure it out. It says, cursed shalt thou be if you don't want to follow God's commandments. Read it again. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So God said if we don't follow his commandments, curses will be upon our people. Let's figure out. What curses do we suffer from? Read the next verse. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. So, Lynn and Desiree. Lynn and Desiree. What's your name, bro? I didn't get your name. Miles? All right. Would you say that we are cursed in the city? Just based off observation. Are we cursed in the city?
Based off observation?
Yes.
What do you mean by
Cursed.
cursed?
Like, look at what's going on in our society. Look what's going on in our communities. Are we cursed or blessed?
I mean, according to that definition,
We're cursed. Would you agree? We're cursed. It says, read it again. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. So some examples of us being cursed in the city. We have high crime rates in our cities. Anywhere you see blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, it's high crime, high drug use, poor education, right? Those are curses that are put upon us for what? Breaking God's commandments. You see that? We are cursed as a people. Why? Because we didn't follow what the Lord has told us to do. Read on. And cursed shalt thou be in the field. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Lynn? Okay, this is back then, right? In the time of Moses, right? When he gave us the laws. He said we will be cursed if we don't follow God's commandments. Right. And it will happen generational. It will not just happen one time. It will be recurring over generations, all right? And I'm going to show you some of the laws that we break today. All right, read that again. Cursed. Hold on, I got you, sis. Because I'm going to answer all your questions. Let's read this real quick. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. So, let me ask you, Lynn, how old are you? 23, right? So when you went to school, they taught slavery in the Bible, right? Weren't we cursed in the field, picking cotton? Miles, weren't we cursed picking cotton? That's a curse. We were cursed in the field. That's a curse. Did it happen back then in the time of Moses? No, it happened in the 1600s. 1619, when they brought us over here and forced us into hard labor. That's a curse. Read. Read it again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So, you said earlier, Lynn, well, how come why are we cursed? What time period did that happen? It says because if we don't listen to God's laws. What are some of God's laws, Miles? Do you know any? How about you, Lynn? Do you know any of God's laws? Just name one. Name one of the 10 Commandments.
Well, I think my question was, at what point in history were we avoid these laws? Did we, like, be condemned to these persons?
Okay, I'm going to show you.
Is that in the Bible what time period that we did something that we...
It's showing you right here. He's saying that we will break them. At the time, we didn't believe that, but we did. Like, even up until today. What? I'm going to show you out of the Bible. Get Deuteronomy 22 and 5. I'm going to show you, sis. Because we still break God's commandments. Right now. We're doing it right now. Because we think Sunday is the day of worship. Right? Is that recorded in the Bible? No, it's not. God says the 7th day is his Sabbath. When's the 7th day of the week? Saturday? Would you agree? It's Saturday. But why do we go to church Sunday? Okay, so let me show you. We continue to break God's laws. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So let me ask you, Miles, right? All right. What outer garments pertain to men that you see our sisters wearing? Suits? What would you say, Lynn?
I mean, it depends on what time you're speaking on, because everything I got on right now is for a man.
It's for a man. So you acknowledge that pants and shorts are for men.
But also in other countries, men wear skirts as well.
Okay, we're not talking about other countries. We're talking about our people. We're talking about our people. We're concerned with our people. We're not concerned with other people. Who? Arabs? Arabs. Are you sure? Okay. Get Deuteronomy.
Ethiopians and Eritreans came from.
Eritreans? Okay, I'm going to show you that we're different. Go to Exodus 11 and 7. So Eritreans are Africans, right? Some. Nilotic. I'm bad with words. Ilotic tribes are the real Africans. We have some of our people that scattered there. But God says there's a difference between us, because just because we have the same skin tone, or we might have some of the same features, we're not the same people. Read this.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
So God says, against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue. Who is he referring to as dogs? The other nations. The other nations. That's what he's talking about. Read.
Against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference.
So the Lord said he's going to put a difference. You following, Lynn? He's going to put a difference between what?
Between the Egyptians.
Now, aren't the Egyptians Africans? Right, Miles? The Egyptians are Africans. Read.
And Israel.
And what?
And Israel.
So Israel are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. There's a difference between us. We're not the same people. So when we go into the laws don't pertain to them, they pertain to us. So when we say, hey, sis, wearing men's clothes is against God's laws, that doesn't pertain to them over there, because they have their own set of laws and rules that they go by. We're talking about God's laws for us. God's laws were addressed to us and no one else. That's what we're talking about. So women wearing pants, go back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5. Because we got to get this in our mindset that, hey, we're set apart from other people. God gave us a specific dress code so we don't look like the other people. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So Moses was giving us these laws because when we came out of Egypt, we were doing these things. We were wearing dresses. We were walking around, men wearing wigs and wearing makeup, because that's what the Egyptians did. That's the time frame of when this was occurring. So God says, don't do that anymore. Don't shave your head. Don't wear things that pertain to men. Men don't wear things that pertain to women. It's going to say that. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So likewise with our men. Men shouldn't be walking around with wearing dresses, wearing skirts. That's against God's laws.
Right.
That's cross-dressing according to God.
That's right.
So our people, they do this because they don't know that this is against God's laws. Because are they teaching this in the church? Are they showing this in the church? No. They said don't read the Old Testament, just go by the New. So how are you going to start a book in the middle of it instead of going from the beginning? Does that make sense? Does it make sense, sis? Or did I lose you somewhere? Okay, so women are to be wearing pants because that puts a spirit on them, and it causes men to lust, right? Because not only do our women wear pants, but they find the tightest fitting pants that they can possibly get on. They can get in. That's what they do. And it causes men to stare at you, which is causing whoredom in our society. Because just by you wearing that pant, those clothes right there, you got men over here looking at your body, which is only for your husband. Are you married? Okay, so you're not married. But men should be looking at what you're working with in that sense. Because if you wear clothes that are modest, they'll approach you a different way. They won't come at you.
I got a quick question.
Okay, what you got?
How does that agree with African garb where women have their breasts hanging out?
Okay, again, we're different from them. We're not them. I know. That's what I was answering because, again, the laws don't apply to the other nations. They apply
Right.
to us.
That's right.
God sets us apart. Get Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Because our people aren't being taught God's laws. They're not being taught or shown how special they are. Do you know how special you are according to God? How about you, Miles? And now where can you find that in the Bible, sis?
I don't read the Bible.
You don't read the Bible? You got to start reading your history because your history is in the Bible. Let's read this.
History is around. My history is inside of me.
Your history is inside of you? How do you know that?
I didn't know that because I
Study it where?
studied genetics. Study
Okay. I'm going to get that in a second, okay, sis? I'm going to adjust that.
in the Bible too. It talks about our genetics.
But you just said you don't read the Bible. So how do you know it? Oh, you're taking it, okay. So let's read this. 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So God says you're a holy people. Sis, what does holy mean?
That's up to you and you're deciding your perspective.
No. I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm not going to go off of my own mind. I'm going to just ask you.
Words or language is that it varies based on your life experiences and what you've been through. So that word means something different to me.
Okay, I'm just asking, what is the definition of holy?
What's the definition of
Yeah, I'm not
holy?
asking
You have to
all
look
that.
in the dictionary and see the
Okay, so we're going to read it. We're going to read it. Get, what's that? Leviticus 20 and 26. Let's find out what holy means. Read.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and have severed you from other people.
So holy means severed or separate from other people. So go back to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And let's figure out why God said that to us. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
So, Desiree, Lynn, when something is special to you, right? You set that apart from everything else, right? You treat that different, right? So the same way how God treats us. We are separate people unto him. We're special. Read.
Above,
Equal.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right.
So God says that we are above all people. You agree, Miles? We're above all people. That's what God says. God says that we're above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right.
Else God tell them that too. So,
Where?
I mean, their religions, the other religions that I've
Okay.
experienced,
Like what?
They tell them that they're great too. So, I mean,
Like what?
how does our God better than theirs?
Okay.
The one
So,
that we're talking to.
okay. So, you still haven't given me an example of who says that. Like, just give me one.
I would say, well, like even like with Buddhism, all right?
Okay.
Their beliefs are slightly different, but slightly the same. Are Are they speaking to somebody else?
Huh?
Are they speaking to someone else? Are they speaking to a different God?
Okay, I'm gonna show you, because the gods of the other nations and their religions, there's all idol worship.
Right.
That's all it is. So, read that. 96 and 5.
Psalm chapter 96, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
So the gods of the nations are idols. Their religion, all they do is worship idols. They worship a stone that can't save them. For instance, the Kaaba stone. It's a meteorite. How is that a god when it's a rock that fell out of the sky? We're the only ones that have a living God, a real God. And the image, you're made in his image. So when you look in the mirror, that's what God looks like. Did you know that? In a sense, yeah. So let's bring it out of the Bible, because you're right. So get Daniel 7 and 9. And then I'm going to show you that more about the other nations and what God gave them to worship. Read that.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
So it says, the Ancient of Days. Who's the Ancient of Days, Desiree?
I have other questions. Because you said God, we are made in the image of God, right?
Yes.
In the mirror. So isn't that in our DNA and our genetics, right? Because we're
Okay.
supposed to look.
Where's that?
Right?
First
So
Timothy?
that's kind of my
First
question.
Timothy 6 and 20.
And then I have
1 Timothy 6 and 20.
another question as well.
Okay, because you're asking a lot of questions. Let's address one first, okay? One question at a time, sis, because I don't want to lose you in all these questions, okay? I'm going to answer one question at a time. So you said genetics. You keep mentioning genetics. DNA.
We look like God, right?
Okay.
We're made in the image of God. And what makes us, what are we compromised?
I can't hear you. Come a little closer.
What are we made of?
What are we made of? Okay.
That makes us look this way, correct?
Okay, what was the first man made of? Do you know who the first man is? Who? Adam?
Or you gonna say someone before him?
We're talking about Adam.
Okay.
Okay, so what was he made of?
Sand.
Sand?
Clay.
Okay, let's get it. Genesis 2 and 7.
But that's, he was made of, of the earth in general.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like, if God made the earth and everything, and we are made in the image of God.
What's up, sis? So they don't get you. Read that.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So, he formed man of the dust of the ground, soil. What color is soil? Okay. Sis, I'm trying to deal with you. It says sand, the dust of the ground, right? Does it say sand or does it say dust of the ground? Soil. Soil. Okay, get Deuteronomy. No, get where I had you at. 1 Timothy. Go ahead.
I'm not going to attack you, sis. Come closer. We can't really hear you. What's that? Oh, I understand. Okay, that's another topic. Brother Miles, come closer. Come closer. Listen. Okay, what's your question? Have you ever seen black sand?
I have.
What? Oh, so black sand is real. You've seen it. Have you touched it? Okay, but it's real, but you've seen it, right? Have you seen black
I
sand?
think my question, and it reiterates back to what I said earlier, when you asked me about holiness, right? What does holy mean to me? Because verbiage and language is based on perception and one's reality of what happened. So sand to me is dust out the ground. Sand to you is not dust out the ground.
What does the Bible say?
But it,
That's the difference.
like I said, but in terms of reality and translating that to your everyday life, because the Bible is translated based on your perspective, his perspective,
Okay.
right? Because we all read the Bible,
Right.
and it can be the same words, but
Deuteronomy
God is giving us a different message, right?
Okay, right. We're gonna get this and see if this happened for real or is a fantasy or something we interpret.
I never said anything.
Oh no, it's something that we
I
interpret.
never said it was a fantasy or wasn't real or anything. I will never
Okay.
discredit someone else's religion. Like,
No, this is not a religion. This is not a religion. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Lord will bring us into captivity or slavery again because we had just walked out of Egypt. We were slaves in Egypt. We just walked out, but he says, I'm going to send you into slavery again with ships. Did that happen?
Okay, but my question was about genetics. And
Huh?
how you look and how God is in
No, because she's saying what she thinks. But we're reading out of the Bible what God says.
Right. But a man wrote that book, right?
What book didn't man write? Name me one.
The Holy Bible.
Name me one book that a man didn't write.
He wrote all of them. So my question after that then is, what makes the information that I'm getting from the books that I'm reading different than
Okay,
the
watch
information
this.
right there?
Go to Psalm 68 and verse 11.
So God's in our genetics because we look like God and we made
Genetics is BS. Because, listen, when you take a, what do they call that? DNA test, do you realize you can get different results based on who's taking the test?
Our genetics is consistently changing based on our environment as well, and that's the thing about genetics, and that's how things are passed down, and traumas are passed down because as slaves and stuff like that, our traumas from our ancestors are still within us. So people wonder why they have natural anxiety from different things. It's because it's passed down into us. Just like God says in the Bible, He curses up to 7 generations. Did He not? If a man does wrong, He will curse the man's sons, right? How do you think that curse?
Sis, you're all over the place. One question at a
All
time.
over the place. Is that I understand what y'all are saying. I get it. I entirely relate.
We didn't finish this.
But my thing was like, okay, so I said God's in our genetics. Y'all looked at me like I was crazy, but then turned around and said that we're made in the image of God.
Where's that sign with the ships
So
on it?
that's all I'm saying.
What's the sign with the ships? Because I want to show you something. Give me this image. Did this happen?
We're not arguing.
No. I'm not.
We did. We all know it happened. How are we here?
Oh, okay. All right. So is that make believe or an interpretation?
I mean, based upon who's talking about it, if you talk to white people and they tell your interpretation.
We don't care about them. We care about our people.
You can talk to the West Indies and they can tell you their
The West Indies are Israelites.
You can talk, but their interpretation of the slave trade may be different. You can talk to Cubans.
It's not different.
Dominicans, you never know.
It's not different.
You don't know what somebody worships. You can worship the Orishas or the Oshun, and your perception might be different on the
Okay.
slave trade. It's
Miles.
individualism. Like we are all individuals in our perspective.
That's the problem.
Creates history.
That's the problem. Is that we listen to all these other philosophies. Hold on. We listen to our own thoughts, and where has it gotten us?
We don't listen to our own thoughts.
Exactly.
We shouldn't.
We haven't been.
We shouldn't.
We've been conditioned by religion.
Okay. All right. Watch this. Okay. Watch this. What's your nationality?
My nationality?
Yes.
Bro, I just started learning about that, so I understand that we don't know who we are.
Yeah, we do. We
I
do.
understand that.
We do.
You, according to what?
The Bible, which is our history book.
Okay, so but if you do research on the Bible, it's been rewritten, it's been changed, things have been taken out, added, depending on who was the king or queen of England.
All right.
Like
Who wrote
all
the King
over
James
time.
Version Bible?
King James.
No, he authorized.
That's true.
He
but
authorized the
he-
translation.
Okay, so look, if you have me write a book, are you gonna have me put anything in that book?
Say again?
If you say you're King James,
Yes.
you authorize that book, which
Mhm.
means you have me write the book with your thoughts, right?
No.
That's not what
No,
it is. Oh,
no.
What is it?
So King James had 47 of the best scholars, Hebrew and Greek scholars. These are scholars. These are not Negroes that are hanging on the corner.
Yeah, but those scholars were taught by Egyptian scholars.
No.
Yes,
No, they were not.
All the Greeks were taught by the Egyptians.
The Greeks?
The Greeks.
Who are the Greeks?
The Greeks.
Who are the Greeks?
The Greeks.
What's their nationality?
I don't get what you're saying.
Okay.
They're Greek, right? That's their nationality.
What's their nationality?
They're Greeks, right?
And
Their nationality is Greek.
They're Greek, right?
what are the real Greeks?
If I'm wrong, correct me, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. That's why we're here.
You asked me who are they? I said the Greeks. If
Yeah, but that's not
wrong,
telling me who they are. What's their nationality?
I believe that is a parameter that's put to basically further separate us.
We ought to be separate. We ought to be separate because God says so.
Since what?
Woo!
Is that the same God that created all these other planets too?
Yes.
So
He's the same
so
God.
we better than everybody
Yes,
else?
because He says so. He says so. I know. Y'all don't be equal with everybody. I know. And as a result, look at the condition of our people.
Right.
When God said we're better than everybody else.
Right.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed
But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.